the free Photoshop course that you're about to watch is just a small part of our Adobe Graphics full course bundle. So if you also want to master Adobe Illustrator with my teaching style and also be able to acquire your certificate of completion, you can tap the first link in the description right now and get your access with a fraction of cost. Also mentionable that this course is brought up to you by the Takeoff College, the smartest alternative currently available to the traditional education. With all that being said, I'm very excited to get started, so let's go. The next tool that I want to talk about is this Move tool. So this is also essential. And how it works is, as the name of it says, it just moves different objects and different layers for us. So it just moves, We can move different things by clicking on them and dragging them. So let's say that I have made this selection over here and I want to move it to a different part of my project. Although that is not a smart thing to do at all, because behind this bag there's nothing. So there will be a pure white or even probably transparent background. But I want to do that, for example, I want to move this. So as you see, I click and drag and it will be moved just like that. And the white background, as you see, is visible over here. But I can move it to wherever I want. And that's basically how Move tool works. This is actually an interaction that this tool had with the selection tools, but this is basically it. So you click and drag and it will help you move different parts of your project and if the different objects inside your project, as easy as that. The next very important thing when it comes to getting started with Adobe Photoshop is navigating through your project and different navigation tools that Photoshop offers you inside your project. So the first part to every navigation is probably zoom. Zoom in and zoom out. As you see, we have this zoom tool over here which can be used, so you can choose it and click, and by dragging to right it will zoom in. By dragging to left it will zoom out, as you see. Or you can click and just by clicking it will zoom in. By pressing Alt and clicking it will zoom out, as you see. Zoom in, zoom out. So I'm clicking. Over here it is also definable. So you can choose zoom out as the default option or zoom in as the default option. And when it comes to navigating through our project when we are zooming in, we have these handles over here, as you see. We have these scroll bars that are usable in navigating to different parts of our image or our project, just like that. But we also have this hand tool over here, which is choosable, and you can click and drag. And as you see, this will basically do the work for you, and it will allow you to navigate through your project. But there's a very, very important point about these two tools. As you saw, we have zoom and we have hand, and you saw how we can use them both to navigate. But the very important point here is that zoom tool and hand tool take a lot of time from us for clicking on them, for navigating between them and using them. And navigation is a process that has to happen very quickly, when we are working in real world projects. And that's why we mostly actually use those shortcuts options that we have to these navigation tools. And how those shortcuts are is, as I say, we have Control plus, so you press Control and the plus from your keyboard in order to zoom in, as you see. We have Control minus in order to zoom out. So Control plus, Control minus. We have Control 0 to get back to the default view and have the entire of our project viewable over here. So it is Control 0. So again, we have Control plus, Control minus, and Control 0. And when we are zooming, we also have hand. So what hand, the space bar on the keyboard. So what this space bar will do for us is that we will hold it, and while we are holding it, it will change our selected tool, whatever the tool is, to hand until we unhold the space bar. So whenever we unhold the space bar, we will be back to whatever tool we were using beforehand. So that is very cool. That is also about temporarily changing whatever tool that we are using to hand. And again, we can unhold it, as you see, and by unholding the scroll bar, the hand will disappear, just like that, because this is a temporary, what we call shortcut to this hand tool. So this is it. You can practice with them in order to get professional with navigating, because navigation is a very important thing when it comes to becoming professional in the software, because you need to navigate easily and navigate fast without destroying any part of your project. So you need to also do it safe. And these are the options that we have for navigation. As I said, we have Control minus for zoom out, Control plus for zoom in, the space bar for temporary hand tool. You need to hold the space bar. And we have Control 0 for getting back to the default view, what you may call, or this having the entire project as you see inside our view section. So that's it with navigation inside Adobe Photoshop.